You know what time it is? It's Friday tea time. Let's see if I can find us a song to play. I think it's got to be a good deed doer because I'm into good deeds today. Happy songs!
I saw him standing there, sad look in his eyes. The kids ran to the playground, but each one passed him by. He was just a new kid here, but then I saw his face. My mama's words raced through my mind. It was like I heard her saying, be a good deed doer and do it every day. One kind deed will go so far to make this world a better place. Be a good deed doer and you may be surprised. Doing good to others makes you feel so good inside. Ooh, 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 ooh. Slowly I walked up to him. I said, what's your name? His eyes began to sparkle and a smile crossed his face. He's not a stranger anymore. Now he is my friend. My life has been better. All because my mama said, be a good deed doer and do it every day. One kind deed will go so far to make this world a better place. Be a good deed doer and you may be surprised.
No,
doing good to
I've gotten
others
everything done.
makes
I'm
you feel
good.
so good inside. Ooh, ooh, ooh,
I may take a nap after this is over.
It makes you feel, makes you feel,
Makes you feel, makes you feel so good inside.
makes you feel,
I feel good.
you feel,
So
makes you feel, it makes you feel so
inside.
good inside. It makes you feel,
So
it makes you feel,
to be
it makes you feel,
good
it makes you feel so good inside. It makes you feel, makes you feel, makes you feel, makes you feel so good inside. Be a good deed doer and do it every day. One kind deed will go so far to make this world a better place. Be a good deed doer and you may be surprised. Doing good to others makes you feel so good inside. Be a good deed doer and do it every day. One kind deed will go so
Far to make this world a better place. Come on in. Yeah, it's that time. Okay, folks, we got, please share our, let me turn it right side up. Please share our videos. Give us a thumbs up. And we have a coupon code to save you 31%. Get it now. Save 31. And we're going to start today by reading the 26th chapter of Psalms. Declare Me Innocent is the title. King David's poetic praise to God. David's trust and transparency. Yahweh, be my judge and declare me innocent. Clear my name, for I walk in integrity and trust you without wavering. How many of you can say that? That you trust God without wavering? Yahweh, you can scrutinize me, refine my heart, probe my every thought. Put me to the test, and you'll find me true. I will never lose sight of your steadfast love for me. Your faithfulness has steadied my steps. David's truthfulness. I won't keep company with tricky, two-faced men, nor will I go the way of those with hidden motives. I despise the sinners' hangouts. You won't find me walking with the wicked. When I come to your altar, Yahweh, I'll be clean before you, approaching with songs of thanksgiving, singing songs of your mighty miracles. David's testimony. Yahweh, I Love to live in your house. This dwelling place is dazzling glory. Don't treat me as one of those scheming sinners who plot violence against the innocent. Look how they devise their wicked plans. Their hands are always ready to receive bribe. I'm not like them, Lord, not at all. Save me, redeem me with your mercy, for I have chosen to in walk only in what is right. Among the worshipers, I will praise Yahweh, for I am safe and secure because of you. And this is the word from the 26th chapter of Psalms, written by David, King David. So, folks, that was beautiful. I loved the part where he says that he won't be among, I will be clean before you, approaching the songs of thanksgiving, singing songs of your almighty miracles. Where was it they said? That he would not be in the presence of, I despise the sinners' hangouts. You know, a lot of people during the pandemic, they were upset because they couldn't go to bars. You know, why do people go to bars? I've never understood that. I have never, ever understood going to a bar. But they go to bars to find somebody to date. That's the most stupid thing I have ever heard of. Why would you want to find somebody to date that is in a bar? That this makes no sense to me. Better to find them in church, I would say, or friends of friends. That's how I met Robert. He was a friend of a friend, one of my fly fishing students. And she kept saying, you know, you need to meet Robert Silly. You need to meet Robert. Y'all could go to the movie together. And you know, I met Robert, and he said it was love at first smile, but it was I knew after our very first date I was going to spend the rest of my life with him. And I am so happy. Somebody said to me, Marla, you need to meet Robert Silly. You need to meet Robert Silly. So I am thankful for Miss Mary. I don't know if she's still alive anymore, but she moved away. She ran the coffee shop downtown where I met Robert. She owned the coffee shop. So life, and that's where the red chairs were. And Robert used to go there and have breakfast. So life is short, y'all. And as my granny always said, if you do what's right, God will take care of you. Well, I entitled um, this little video my favorite time of year because it is. I love fall. I absolutely love the leaves falling. We still got a lot of green here, but my nephew Brandon is up on the parkway with his wife, riding the parkway, seeing all the pretty leaves and stuff. And I told him, I said, if you get a speeding ticket up on the parkway, you have to go to federal court. I was giving him a little what for there. But you just have to get out and you have to take a ride and see the leaves and hear the critters. I mean, I can sit outside on the porch and I hear all kinds of critters. We have a hawk that's very vocal. In fact, and that we have a fox. Robert has a picture of a fox, probably the fox that got our cat. So everybody, when is your favorite time of year? This is mine. This is mine. Brandon did take a ride onto Tennessee Gap, which is where I used to live up at Balsam Grove. So he was running around. I've been lost up there. Woo! I told you about those flat tires yesterday. But you just have to think about how beautiful the change of the seasons are. And with the change of the seasons and time, the the time change is coming up the 1st of November. And what do you have to do when the time changes? You change your smoke alarm battery. That's number one. You change your toothbrushes. I have a supply of toothbrushes. I'll be putting me out a new toothbrush. I'll be giving Robert one. Um, just little things you do like that. That it, October 1st is our day to change our water filter. We have a big, huge whole house water filter and our heating and cooling unit filter. Well, we didn't have to do that because in November we're putting in a new one. And so there's just these little cues that have to do with the seasons. Robert changed out his summer short sleeve shirts to his winter long sleeve shirts. Well, I need to do that too, but all my winter stuff is either red or black. It's not much of any other color. So I may have to add a few things to my wardrobe. Somebody else said they lived in Balsam Grove as a girl a few years ago. Well, B, it's a beautiful place. The people in Balsam Grove loved me. I loved them too because they're just good old mountain people. Good old mountain people. You just don't get any better than mountain people. Anyway, let's see. What is your name? B Watkins. You either have to be a McCall or an Owen to live in Balsam Grove, and I was neither. I was a Watson. Anyway, folks, you just have to love this time of year. And if you don't, then you've not been going to the right places. Justin's heartbroken over his wet basement. He couldn't even help them tear it apart because he just got through doing it. He spent all he spent all winter working on this basement. So his insurance man said, "We'll take care of it. Don't you worry." And so his dad was up for a visit. So I'm sure he and his dad are playing golf or something today. It's such a beautiful day. But he can't fix it. They're going to tear out the whole floor. Luckily, the floor was this vinyl planking. That's what you need to put down in a basement. But you got to get it up to let it dry underneath. So that's what what happened was the house had this much of an old water line coming into the house. And they tapped onto that to plumb the basement. And it was at that one little 2-inch place, maybe 1 inch, that it broke apart. And that's what flooded his basement. So next week they have to put all new line in from the basement across his brand new driveway to the water meter. He's not real happy about that either. But, it didn't run for 3 weeks. It was probably only running leaking for about 24 to 48 hours. He was lucky. He was blessed is what it was. He was blessed. So get out and do some fun stuff this weekend. Don't stay in the house cleaning because you're not ever going to catch up. But we did our crisis cleaning this morning. Just take some time and be with your family. Be with your family. I've heard from Conda. I haven't talked to Conda, but I have talked to her friend who took her back to the hospital this morning. He was not happy. They would not let him stay with her. He was very unhappy that they would not let him stay with her. And he had to go sit in the car. They ran him out of the waiting room. So I started praying for him. He's a good man. And I started praying for him. He said, "Yeah, I'm about to lose it. I'm about to lose it." So I started praying for him that he would get calmed down. And then a nurse came out and said, "We've got her in a room and we're waiting on a doctor." So that's the last I had. She's in a room, but still waiting to see a doctor so she can get meds and lab work. There you have it. That's all I know. So keep Conda in your prayers. She is a faithful fly baby. She has been for a lot of years. For a lot of years. And I just love her to pieces. You know, she just lives over in Asheville, and every once in a while we run into them at a restaurant, but we haven't been going to Asheville much, so I haven't run into her lately. But we would run into them at the Chinese restaurant over there, Asiana, and up on the Parkway one time, and it's just fun. So just keep Conda in your prayers, and we just have to have faith. Everything's going to be okay. I know she's going to be okay. We can get her out of the hospital. I don't like hospitals. Did you know that? Not fond of hospitals. In fact, I've told my family not to take me to a hospital. Nope. If they can't take care of me at home, this is where I want to be. Anyway, Liz got her a nice heavy duty vibrator, and Matt has been vibrating her back to loosen up any phlegm that's in her bronchus tubes. And she said she loves it. She loves this thing. That was how she put it. Let me see if I can find what she said about it. Where is Miss Liz? Liz. She says, "It works wonderful. I recommend this thing. Thank you." I said, "Try it on your face." Her ear stopped up, so she's got some fluid buildup in her ear. But that harmonic vibration breaks things loose like you wouldn't believe. And if you've got one of those vibrating seats that you can sit in, that go on the back of your chair, try it. I used to have a vibrating heat wrap that was like a cloak you would put on, and Ben loved it so much I just gave it to him. He loved it because he would sit on that, and it had little knots that would go around and round, and it would the heat was good for him. God rest his soul. I mean, I think about Conda being in the ER, and I went to the ER with Ben 3 or 4 times. This was all before COVID hit in February. And it was so hard. And Ben would teach me stuff when we were at the ER. He said a lot of times there's just drug addicts coming in for drugs. And Ben was in so much pain. He was dehydrated a lot of times because he couldn't keep anything down. He's throwing things up. And he'd say, "Aunt Marla, look over there. Do you see those people over there?" He said, "That lady is a junkie and she's wanting drugs. Can you see how she can barely hold her head up?" He said, that's a drug addict. So, and when he got a fentanyl patch for his pain, he wouldn't even let me touch it. He said, "You can't even touch it. You can't even have it in your possession." So we had everything locked away. But he was real particular because the stuff was so strong and his pain level with his cancer was so horrible that I just had to let God take it. I would take him to the ER and I'd stay with him every step of the way. And the time before last I took him to the ER, we're sitting there and he's throwing up so much stuff. It was so sad. And they put a tube down his nose so that it could suck the fluid out of his stomach so that he wouldn't have to throw it up. And he was doing such a good job. He was handling himself, and I was saying, "Good job, you know how you're supposed to do to help people, build them up." But then I had an adrenaline rush, and I looked at that nurse and I said, "Ma'am, Ben had gotten it down and he had done really well, but I could feel things closing in because when I know when I'm going to faint. And I said, ma'am, I'm getting ready to faint. No, you're not. I said, yes, ma'am, I am. And about that time, my eyes rolled back in my head and I slid down in my chair because usually I try to get down on the floor. But hospital floors are not as clean as you want them to be. And she screamed. And next thing I knew, there were 8 people around me, most of them men, holding me in place because I had fainted. And then they wanted to check me out, and I said, "No, I have a problem with my own adrenaline. This happens when I get upset over something. It hits me, and I try to stay real calm. But ERs are not fun places. They are not fun places. And they take forever. They just take forever. It ought not be like that." And this was all before the you know what came in. So, folks, think about something nice. Think about doing something nice for somebody, making a meal and taking to a neighbor. That's all we got is love. We have to love everybody. And I know you do, but sometimes we forget about just doing a simple act of kindness. The simple act of kindness of doing something. Yeah, Ben had 6 months of chemotherapy, and then there toward the end, they did a last-ditch effort of chemotherapy, but I think they knew it wasn't gonna work. And he was about well in August. Last August, I thought he was gonna make it and be a testimony to the world. But then it turned bad, and he had to go back to the hospital 2 or 3 more times. Anyway, he left us on November 25th, the day before Thanksgiving. Mama left us on December 24th, the day before Christmas. It kind of runs in the family. Papa died the day before Dina's birthday. You know, our family's funny like that. You just have to laugh. So y'all be good, kind, and sweet. Celebrate this beautiful weather. The beautiful, I mean, I'm looking at it all green. Maybe my dogwood tree will start changing. I don't have any changing colors out here either. But we rode around last night and there was some pretty changing colors. So y'all be good, kind, and sweet. Don't forget about our sales and get your Christmas shopping done. The media is trying to scare us to death and it's just not going to work because we're going to be prepared. We're going to be prepared having all of our shopping done. So start it now. Don't wait. And you can save money by eating out of your pantry right now. Lucy, you're so sweet. All of you are so sweet. So let's go to the Lord in prayer. Dear Father in heaven, thank you for getting Conda in the hospital. Thank you for her friend, for being there with her and taking care of her. Thank you so much for everything you do for us day in and day out. There's my dog. Thank you for my puppy dog. Thank you for my kitty cat. Thank you for all our critters that keep us company and love us. Keep us safe. Give us strength. Thank you for sending your son to die for our sins, that one day we could spend eternity with you in heaven. Keep us safe this weekend. Let us enjoy the good times and celebrate every single day. These things we ask in your son's holy name. Amen. Yep, you never know when there's going to be a critter barking at the door. There she is. I'll see you later. Be good, kind, and sweet. Good to yourself, kind to others, and let the joy and the sweetness that's in your heart show the world that you are a child of God. I love you all.